Hello again. I'm back in the jungle. I'm going to show you a drill, an exercise you can use. It's really good for when you first start fishing and start learning to cast, but it's also a good one for your practice at any level that you're at. And just to start off, I've got about 8 feet of fly line outside the rod tip plus leader, and I'm just going to start off by shaking this rod tip backwards and forwards. And as you can see, you've got waves here traveling down the line. If I just put it in the right place here, under gravity. Okay. But what I'm going to end up doing, what I want to do, is turn those into loops that fully unroll backwards and forwards. Now at the moment they're underneath the rod, which is actually a useful cast. It's the underhand cast, or the pendulum loop, or an inverted loop. But if I get a bit more speed, I can actually bring them over the top of the rod and plane with the rod. And what we're trying to do here, we're trying to get these nice narrow loop shapes, it's like the U on its side, as narrow as possible, unrolling both backwards and forwards. Okay? And you can play with that. You can play with that to your heart's content. Now there's 2 ways I want to take this forward. One way is to add 3 feet of line. Okay? And repeat. Okay? Trying to get those tight loops all the time. You can't quite see them. Get the angle over here. Okay? Still the rod's over to the side, where I can, the advantage of it being over to the side is I can watch it backwards and forwards, and I want you to do that. I want you to be watching that loop unroll, and that loop unroll behind, and that loop unroll at front. And there's something else. You've got to allow that loop to unroll before you start your next cast, but you probably know that. I would hope you know that. So you can also just check that your rod is stationary while the loop is unrolling. Okay? Then we're going to add another 3 feet of line and repeat. Now there are some adjustments that you're going to have to make here, but I'm going to let you figure what they are. I think the loop will allow you to move your body to sort it out. But let me just give you one key. As you get more and more line out, this hand is going to have to move. It's going to have to translate further. So as we start to get much more line out, this hand is actually going to have to move to assist this cast. Okay? And the idea is we still keep those narrow loops. That's one way I want you to take it. So you take it from that side and you increase it by 3 feet at a time. Now let's go back to the 6 feet, the 8 feet that I started with, okay? This is the next drill. I want you to go from this side at 9 o'clock and gradually pick it up. So now I'm at, I've brought it up by 30 degrees, I'm at 60 degrees over, then 30 degrees, and then if I can avoid this post, then I'm off the vertical, and then 30 degrees over this side, 60 degrees, and then 90 degrees, okay? And then add 3 feet of line and do the same. So start off at the horizontal, come up 30 degrees, up to 60, hitting the post behind me, hang on, I'll just edit that bit out and then we'll go straight on to the 90, avoiding the pose. 90, whatever this is, minus 30, and then over. And then so that's a really great exercise. So you've got that loop control drill. We've taken it in 2 directions. One is we're just directly increasing it and working out the changes that we've got to make. And the other is we're taking that and we're putting it through the different angles, which we need to do when we're fishing. Third thing I'd like you to do is I would like you to play around with what your body is doing and what your body position is. Okay, so you know, if I come off to this side here, I might have my weight on my front foot here and my right foot, or I might change and I might have this right foot back, or I might have one leg in the air, or I might be sitting down, or I might be lying down, or I might be doing a dance. You know, you've got all these things. I might do it, although that very important one, it's important to train, is casting between your legs, right? And I think this is really important because as you know, when you are fishing, you are going to be hanging upside down out of a tree. You're going to be floating down the rapids, standing on a log. So you need to start to incorporate this stuff in your training. And let me know how that goes. Cheers.